Now, just as the instructions say, please use your calculator to find these three values. I don't remember how, Mr. Mars. Yes, you do. You push 9, exponent button, bracket, 1 divided by 2. Then you're going to do the same thing here, but it's not going to be 1 divided by 2. It's going to be 1 divided by 3. Then you're going to do the same thing here. It's not going to be 1 divided by 2 or 1 divided by 3. It's going to be 1 divided by 4. Then you're going to tell me the three answers. Go. What are the three answers? 3, 3, 5. Now, let's do some learning. What in this one is the base? 9. Excellent. What is the exponent? 1/2. Excellent. Well done. What does that mean? No. That is the answer. What does that mean? 9 will multiply by itself how many times? Half a time. Does that make any sense? Of course not. But you already know the answer to this. If 9 to the 1/2 equals 3, and the square root of 9 equals 3, then what can we say about 9 to the 1/2 and the square root of 9? They are equal, right? Because if that one equals 3 and that one equals 3, then that one must equal that one, yes? So what does that mean here? 27 to the 1/3 equals 3. The cubed root of 27 equals 3. So 27 to the 1/3 equals the cube root of 3. Yes? Now, has something just happened twice in math class? Yes, something has just happened twice in math class. So what does that mean? It happens all the time. Please notice, in both of the exponent versions, there is a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 3, a numerator and a denominator, yes? In the radical versions, what number should be right there? A 2. What number should be right there above the 9? 1. Why? Because there's only one 9. Please notice, 1, 2, 1, 2. What number should be right there? 3. What number should be right by the 27? 1. 1, 3, 1, 3. Everybody see the easy to see pattern? Now, write it out. So it's always, so it is in general form, which is x to the a over b always equals the b root of x to the a power. Now, this can be a little bit confusing, and here is what I mean. This side here means two different things, kind of like 1/3 x is the same as x over 3, right? This here could mean b root x, and the x gets the a. Everybody understand? But it can also mean b root x all to the a power. Does everybody see what I am saying here? They are the same thing. Okay? And when we start doing some work with this, you're going to see how those two, why you need to understand both of them. Everybody cool? All right. Now, is yours printed as poorly as mine? The B is right under the A? Yeah, that's a super pain. So I'm just going to tidy mine up a little. I'm going to move this into here. And if I'm not mistaken, it was the 27 to the 3/4? 4/3. Yeah? Okay. Now, please notice, the base becomes the radicand. The denominator becomes the index. The numerator becomes the power. Does it matter what any of this looks like? No, because this is the rules. What is the base in A? 0.04. To what index? And then we are going to do what to that answer? Cube it. All right, now, please observe. 0.04, many of you can work with that in your head, that's fine. I'm going to change it so it works more nicely. I am going to make that the square root of 4 over 100, all cubed. Everybody cool? What is the square root of 4 over 100? What's the square root of 4? 2. Square root of 110. 2/10 to the third power, which is what? 8 over 1,000. Everybody cool? Now, as I said, there's two ways you can look at this. This is also the square root of 4 cubed over 100 cubed. Okay? Which means it is also the square root of 64 over 1 billion. No, wait. 100,000. No, a million. 6. And then you cube root 64, you cube root a million, and you get 8 thousandths. Is everybody cool? Sometimes it helps to look at it the red way. Sometimes it helps to look at it the black way. When do you make that decision? Depends on the question. Okay? Let's look at B. How do I turn B, which is an exponential form, into this, which, by the way, I forgot to tell you, is radical form? What will I do with that? Where will the 27 go? It will become the radicand. Cubed root of 27 to the fourth power. Now, which of these...
Please excuse this interruption.
I will.
Could we have all grade 9 and 10 girls proceed to the pit?
Did I know about this? Apparently I did. Grade 9 and 10 girls. Well, you are all in grade 10 if you are a girl, and go there to the pit. I'll keep recording this. No worries. I hope it goes well. I have no idea what this is about. I'm sure at some point I got an email about it. What? No, because it doesn't matter. Because my bosses have said, send these girls. So it doesn't matter whether I know about it or not. It's a good lesson for you all to learn. When your boss says jump, what do you say? How high? Right? Like, that's it. There's no way around it. Some kid then always says, I'm going to be my own boss. Oh yeah, what are you going to do? I'm going to run my own business. Okay. Is that business going to have customers? Yeah. Are those customers going to pay you? Yeah. Well, then who's your boss? Me. No. The boss does the paying. So your customer is your boss. So when your customer says jump, what are you going to say? How high? It's my favorite when people tell me they're going to run their own business and be their own boss. It just makes me laugh. I know people that have their own business. Customers are the worst. If any of you have ever worked in customer service, you know how worst customers are. Right? You're working at Subway. Can I get a little more olives on that? Oh, that's too many olives. Take them back. No, now I need one more. Ugh. They don't know how to pee because they spray the whole bathroom down with their urine. Every bathroom needs black lights in it so people can't shoot up in it. Customers are the worst bosses ever. Now, as I was saying, red or black, which one works better here? The black one. Why? Because 27 has a cube root, doesn't it? What is the cube root of 27? 3. So this is 3 to the 4th, which is 81. Right? If I do the red version, then I get the cubed root of 27 to the 4th. So I got to bring out, that's 4 27s under there, right? So I would bring out what? I'd bring out 27, and I'd be left with the cubed root of 3. The cubed root of 27, right? Which is what? 3. So I'd have 27 times 3, which is indeed 81. Understand? Sometimes the red way is better if the number's big or if it's not perfect. If the number's perfect, then you might as well do the green way. Yeah? All right, let's look at the third one. What's the base? 8 to the 1/3 is the base. Now, all that is squared. Now, let's stop a moment. We can apply some exponents to this, can't we? I would multiply over the bracket, wouldn't I? And I would get 8 to what? The 2/3, which would be the cubed root of 8 squared. What is the cubed root of 8? 2 squared is 4. Now, I could also look at this as the cubed root of 8, because this, 8 to the 1/3, is right there, squared. Everybody understand? Cube root of 8 we know is 2. 2 squared we know is 4. You make this decision. Okay? You've seen 3 of them. What are you going to do with D? What you going to do with D? I'll give you a hint. It's a lot like A. Who's got something for me? Pardon me? 7/10? Yep. Because, of course, it's 49 over 100 square rooted to the first power, which is 7/10. What's weird about E? But what are decimals? Fractions. So this is 16 to what power? 3 over 2. Because 3 over 2 equals 1.5. Right? Then we just do the math. Square root of what? To what power? 3. So that is 4 to the power of 3, which is 64. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, yeah? What about 81? 81 to the 3/4. So that's the 4th root of 81 cubed. Now, here we could be in trouble, yeah? Because maybe you don't know the 4th root of 81 off by heart. But you do, because we just did it right here, right? What is it? 3 cubed, which is 27. Easy peasy, yeah? Okay. Look at the next question. Why do I tell you to use a calculator here? I've just shown you how to do it. Why do you need a calculator? Fifth root. Does 8 have a 5th root? No. What's the biggest root 8 has? A 3rd root, right? So this becomes the 5th root of 8 squared. 8 doesn't have a fifth root, so we have to use our calculator, yeah? So you're going to punch that in your calculator exactly the way you did at the beginning. 8 exponent bracket 2 divided by 5. And what are you going to get? You're going to get a crazy decimal, yeah? What is it? Right. 2.297 blah. Right? Everyone cool? Real life answer, right? That's what you need. Yeah? But observe. Fifth root of 8 squared. Can I simplify that in any other way? Keeping it as a radical and working without my calculator. Well, isn't that the fifth root of 64? And isn't 64 2 to the 6th? Can I get a fifth root out of there? 2, fifth root, what do I leave under there? A 2. Okay? Real life, mathematical. This one is what we call the exact answer. Sometimes we can get them, sometimes we can't. Everybody cool? So what's this guy for a real life answer? Because this one's not going to work out, right? 6/10 does not have a 7th root. So, what's it going to be? How do I punch it in? We know it's going to be the 7th root of 0.6 to the 15th power. So how do I punch that into my calculator? 0.6 exponent bracket 15 divided by 7 close brackets. And what do I get? 3, 3, 4, blah. Yes? Now, how would we get it exactly? 7th root of 0.6 to the 15th, right? How many groups of 7 can I get out of there? 2. So it would be 0.6 squared, 7th root. What did I leave under there? Yeah, I know what you're saying, Nick. 0.6. 0.6 squared is 0.36, yes? 0.36, 7th root, 0.6. And there's our exact answer. Now, could we make that even prettier? Yeah. 36 over 100, 7th root of 6 over the 7th root of 10. And would we ever leave that under there? No, we'd have to rationalize. Everybody with me? I'm not actually going to rationalize. I'm just showing you can do it exactly. Everybody cool? All right. Turn the page over. Look at the formula. A, B, or C, which one can you do without your calculator? A, why? Because there is a cubed root of 27, right? But B and C you'll need your calculator for. Agreed? So let's go. Cube root 27 squared. 0.01. What's cube root of 27? 3. Times 3 is 9 to get 0.09 kg. Ease bees lemon squeezy, yeah? How are we going to do B? What's B going to look like? 0, 1. Am I going to bother with putting this in radical form? Why not? Because it's not a perfect cube. So for this one, we're just going to leave it in regular form to the 2/3. And we're going to punch that in. What do you do first? Most of your calculators can figure that out, right? You punch in as you see it. What do we get?
34.192.
34.192.
34.2. It's 1.9.
Yeah. That seems high to me. A 32 kilogram brain? 0.342. Because you forgot to multiply by 0.01. Yeah? And the last one. Are we going to put it in radical form? Yes or no? No, why not? Because it's not a perfect cube. What do we get for that? What? 0.153. Sounds good to me. Everybody's good, yeah? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. If it's going to work out, we put it in radical form. If it's not, we don't. Everybody cool? All right. You will do some practice on page 144. But I want you to flip to 146 now. I want to review 146, 147. This is not a review for marks, but once again, I remind you, exponents and radicals are very picky, right? They aren't. It's really easy to make a little error somewhere, and then it screws up the whole question. So we're going to do a few of these together, then I'm going to shut up. Now, tomorrow, Wednesday in class, you're going to do the review for this unit. It'll be an in-class thing. We'll mark it Thursday. We'll do the beginning of the next unit Thursday. You'll write your test Friday. Okay? Everybody's cool? All right. Ladies, this was all recorded. I know none of you will watch it, but I recorded it, and now you're stuck with it. Okay. This. What's weird about that? There's a negative exponent, right? And all of you see negative exponent right away, like, oh, I got to reciprocate. But you don't got to reciprocate, do you? Because, what do you notice about that and that? They're the same base. So what does that mean I get to do with the exponents? Add them. 0.3 to the negative 3 plus 5, which is what? 0.3 squared, which is 0.06, 0.09. Now, what if you're bad at multiplying decimals? You always forget you need an extra decimal when your teacher says no calculator. What should you do? You could practice, but you could also change it to a fraction, couldn't you? Because isn't that 3/10? And 3/10 squared is 9 over 100, which is 0.09. Do I care which one you do? No. But if you find yourself often forgetting to add the decimal places when you're multiplying, you should probably change to fractions. Who knows if you can multiply decimals without a calculator? You do. Right? Okay. Does number 2 scare you? Be honest. Number 2 scares every kid. Why? It's an ugly, barfy mess. Until you look at what? What's that? And that. The same base. So, couldn't you write this as x to the negative 4 squared times x squared cubed? Aren't those the exact same thing? Aren't they? And without the fraction, how hard is that? It's not difficult at all. What do you do there? To get x to what power? Negative 8 times x to what power? 6. What do you do there? X to the negative 2, correct? What does a negative do to the base? Ooh, we are in trouble. What does a negative exponent do to its base? Oh, we don't need review, Mr. Mars. We're ready to go. What does a negative exponent do to its base? No. Oh my good gravy. 2 squared is what? 4. 2 to the 1 is what? 2. 2 to the 0 is what? Divide by 2. Divide by 2. Obviously, what is the next thing we are going to do? Divide by 2. What is 1 divided by 2? What is the obviously the next exponent? 2 to the negative 2. I'm going to divide by 2 to get what? What does a negative exponent do to its base? No, it's not. But why? It's got nothing to do with a negative. 2 to the positive 2 gets you an answer of 4 over 1. What does 2 to the negative 2 get you? 1 over 4. What does a negative exponent do to its base? Flip it. Grade 10 pre-diploma math. You flip it. And then sometimes you plus it. And then sometimes you minus it. And then sometimes you times it. What's the word for flipping a fraction? It reciprocates. So, let's come back to the real world. What is my base? Negative 3 over 2 to the negative 2. What does a negative exponent do to the base? Flips it to become 2/3. Is it still negative? Yes. Is the exponent still negative? No. So what is negative 2/3 squared? No. 4 over 9. Because a square with the negative inside the base, negative times a negative is a positive. Need some practice, hey? Like, say, this whole page that was called exponent practice? Like that page? Maybe? That we did, 5 weeks ago? That page. Uh-huh. What's happening in number 3? 4, yeah. Everyone's like, why do we have to do this extra? We already know how to do it. Okay. What's happening here? Do the top first to get what? 1.4 to the 7th over? You're going to subtract them. Okay, what's the answer? To the 9th. Now, I said no calculator. Do I really expect you to do 1.4 times itself 9 times? No, because that's a pretty big number. You're going to be off the hook. What are we doing here? You do the bottom part first. 7 to the 2/3 over 7 to the what? To the 6/3, which is what? 7 to the 2/3 over 7 squared. Now what do you do? What should I do there? Because they're the same base. 2/3 minus 2 over 1. But we can't do 2 over 1. It's 7 to the 2/3 minus 6/3, which is 7 to the negative 4/3. What does a negative exponent do to its base? 1/7 to what power? 4/3. Am I done? That's exponential form. Is that okay? Could I go one further? What would I do to that you just learned? Yes, I'm going to make it a radical. Cubed root of what? 1/7 to what power? 4. Which is the cube root of 1 over the cubed root of 7 to the 4th power, yes? That is 1 to the 4th power, which is 1. So it's 1 over the cubed root of 7 to the 4th. Could we go even further? How?
Please excuse this interruption. Could we have the grade 9 and 10 boys proceed to the pit?
And that would be done. Now, gentlemen, based on what you have just seen, we have only done 4 questions, and you all were perfectly capable of doing how many of them? 1! So, should we watch the video tonight? Oh yeah, I better see 30 views. I will see no views. Goodbye. Enjoy your assembly. How long were the girls gone? I don't remember when they left. The girls left at what, 8:20 maybe? Half an hour? I'd leave my stuff. Or take your stuff, as everyone is doing anyway. Why do you ask if you're going to do what the hell you want anyway? All of you. Should we take our stuff? You should probably leave it. Have good days. Was it?
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Look, sending intimate pictures to others.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder.
Told me we were gonna get.
I wonder if something happened recently. It's because you people grew up with the internet. You're not aware of it. And it doesn't matter how many times they tell you. You're not going to stop. And then you're going to cry and moan and be babies about it when something goes wrong. Because, oh, right, all people are holes. All people. Everyone.
It's a no, everybody. Stop.
That's the other thing. You all make fun of it until you accidentally do something like that and your idiot ex-boyfriend sends it everywhere and then you're crying like babies. Right? No, Hannah is on her way back. Siona is on her way back.
These 2 rows are like 5 and it's like just
Now, I don't remember when you people left. Did you see...
we were on B. We were on B.
No, because they're on the video. You saw B. It doesn't matter. You've seen how to do it. Right? It's all the same. What I did after that was we started doing some review of exponents. And the gentlemen, it turns out, were not as hot poop at exponents as they thought they were. Because we did 4, and of the 4 that we did before the gentlemen were called down, they were able to do 1. Yes. So, if all of you would be so kind as to turn to page 146, this is where we are reviewing how to do exponents. Because as I was saying to the gentlemen, you will be doing your review for this unit in class tomorrow. We will be marking it Thursday, starting the next unit Thursday, and you'll be testing on this Friday. Yes. Because giving a lesson to a sub 9 times out of 10 is useless.
Then we can't persuade the sub to give us more time.
No, you can't. You get the period, because that's all you should get. Okay. Let me ask you this. You're a basketball player.
Yes.
The buzzer has rang at the end of the 4th quarter. You're down by 5. Do you go to the ref? Sir, I need some more time. And the ref says, get out of my face, because he's probably already left the court, right? Why did they have 5 points more than you? They're better. You weren't good enough, right? So when you run out of time on a test, why is that? The test is better than you, and you weren't good enough, right?
You're really boosting our confidence.
No, I'm not. I'm not trying to boost your confidence. This is why your test should only take you 60 to 65 minutes, and I give you 80. All right. So this one is particularly problematic, so I'll go over this one with all of you from scratch. All right. So, again, even though it looks scary, it's not. Why? Because they've all got the same base, yes? So, what should I do there? Add them. So I have 7 to the 2/3 over 7 to the 6/3. Now, normally I would simplify 6/3, wouldn't I? But that would be silly because I have more math to do. Do they still have the same base? So what should I do? Subtract. So I have 7 to the 2/3 minus 6/3, which is 7 to what power? Negative 4/3. Yes? Now, a negative exponent does what to its base? You reciprocate it. So this becomes 1/7 to the positive 4/3. And that is one way of saying this question is done. It's an exponential form. It's done. Now, what else could we do with it? We could do what we just learned. We could take it and put it into radical form. How will you know what I want? You'll read the instructions. Okay? So in radical form, this is the cubed root of what? This is what you just learned. 1/7, cube root, the base becomes the radicand, all to what power? 4. Agreed? Now, what is this in here? This is the cube root of 1 over the cube root of 7, correct? What is the cube root of 1? 1 over the cubed root of 7 to the 4th power. Is everybody still okay? Still with me? That's a second version of the answer. That is right. That is right. I can go one step further here Because this is 1 over the cubed root of 7 to the 4th power, yes? Which means there's how many 7s under there? 4. How many do I need? 3. So I could also write this as 1 over 7, because I brought out 1 7, cube root, what did I leave under there? A single 7. This, too, is a correct answer. At your level, I don't care what you give me if you follow some rules. If I say leave it as an exponent, you're going to leave it as dark green. If I say radical, you could leave it as gold. Or you could go all the way and get to here. Which one gets you the A? All 3, because all 3 are right. Which one, if I was grading you on that 1, 2, 3, 4 scale, and I want it in radical form, what gets you 3 meeting my expectations, do you think? Gold. What gets you 4 exceeding my expectations? Good. Everybody understands, yes? All right. Now for you people, you're still at the ABC, right? You're not on that 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can leave it where you see fit. Everybody cool? Spectacular. And again, we must review because the gentleman had some gaps in their exponent knowledge. What should I do here? The ladies have some gaps in their exponents. Again, when in doubt, look at the question. What would you do with that? Add them to get what? Okay. Then what would you do with that? To get what? Y to the negative 2. So what would you do with that? You'd do this. There's no FOIL here because they are not binomials. Now, is that the right answer? Why not? Because there's a negative exponent. You can't leave a negative exponent because they make no sense. So, x to the 5th is okay. Y squared has to go to the denominator. Now, a lot of students have a lot of trouble with that. They just, I don't get it. So then I show them why it works. And that makes them even more scared. I'm going to show you why it works. We only care about the y's, right? Right? So this is y squared times 1 over y to the 4th, correct? Because the negative exponent reciprocates the base. Okay. What's y squared times 1? Because y squared is really over 1, right? What is y squared times 1? Y squared. What is 1 times y to the 4th? Y to the 4th. What is this really? Y times y, yes? What is this really? Y over y, gone. Y over y, gone. What's left? Y to the 2 in a denominator. Okay? Excellent. Now, is yours missing the A there? Weird, hey? Because to make your book, all I did was take this document and go Control P. You got the A, but I didn't get the A. No, see? Erase, 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 erase. So, to remind us, what do I do with the 10 and the 5? What is this really? It's 10 over 5. Then what? over a to the 3. And then what? B to the 3 over b to the negative 2. Right? What is 10 divided by 5? 2. What is a to the 5th divided by a to the 3rd? A squared. We all know why, right? Okay. And what is this one? To the 5th. Why? 3 minus negative 2. Right? Or you can think about it this way. That negative 2 can't exist, right? That negative reciprocates the base, yes? So that b, which is in the denominator, must come up to the numerator to be positive. 3 and 2 is 5. So our final answer, 2a squared b to the 5th. Yeah? Yeah? Wonderful. Yes, there are more. What should I do right here? Should I be scared about the negatives? No, why? I could. 2 negatives multiply to become a positive, right? So when you see negative exponents, I know all of you for a second go, but don't, because there's a good chance it'll disappear. So what do I get there really? 1.5 to the positive 15 over 1.5 to the 5th. How many of those 15 are disappearing? 10 are disappearing, 5 are disappearing. 1.5 to the 10th. And we can stop there, because I would never make you do that. Right? Unless you actually had your calculator. Yeah? Okay, now, this is weird. This question combines every single thing you know about exponents except negatives. What does this exponent outside the brackets? If it were 2, what would you do? You would send it to everything. So should you do that? Sure. Let's send it to everything. So 8 is now to the 1/3, right? Because 8's exponent is what? 1, and 1 times 1/3 is 1/3, yes? What is a to? 3 times 1/3, which is a to the 1, yes? And what's b? b is 6 times 1/3, which is b squared. This is what you just learned. Should I leave it like that? Does 8 multiplied by itself 1/3 of a time make sense? So what does this become? Cube root of 8 to the first power. What is the cube root of 8? 2. Do I write to the first power? No. So it's 2 a b, I wanted that to be light green, b squared. Nothing tricky, right? Up there looks scary. Is it? No, because you know how to do everything, every part of it. Now, 9 does scare you. I don't care what you say. 9 scares you. It does. It scares a couple of you. It does. Until you break it down. 4 over 2 equals what? 2. A to the negative 2 over a to the positive 2 is what? To the negative 4. B to the 2/3 over b to the 1/3 is b to the 1/3. What part of that isn't allowed? So 2b to the 1/3 over a to the 4th. Now, exponential or radical form? Keep saying it. Exponential. What is the other way I might ask for that answer? Radical form. Which part of that will become radical? Only the b. 2 cube root b to what power? 1. Do we write 1 as a power? No. Over what? To the 4th. Yeah, yeah? Yeah, yeah, yeah. 10 scares you. What are your options? You could bring the 1/2 in, but if you bring the 1/2 in, how many places do you have to put it? A lot. Could you simplify inside the brackets? Yes. So, as I have said many, many times, do not memorize steps. Look at the question and see what is called for. Okay? Now, in this case, obviously, what is 100 divided by 25? 4. A over a to the 5th is a to the negative 4, yes? And b to the negative 1/2, I don't like negative 1/2. I want everything on one line, so it becomes b to the positive 1/2, yes? Now, all of that is to the 1/2. Now, how many 1/2s do you get? You only got to send it to 3 things, right? So what's the first one? 4 to the 1/2, which is the same as the square root of 4, which is 2. What are you going to do with 1/4 and 1/2? Or 4 and 1/2? No. Multiply. What is negative 4 times 1/2? No, Priya. What's half of 4? So it is a to the negative 2, because negative 4 times 1/2 is negative 2. And what is b? To the 1/4. What there is ugly? So it's 2b to the 1/4 over a to the positive 2. Is that okay? Is there another way I could write it? What would it be? Yes. And you're cheering for math, not because you hear the boys coming back, right? Now, is yours printed poorly here? Is number 13 right below 12? Pain in the butt. Okay. So, all of you, and when I say all of you, I mean every single grade 10 student I have ever taught. As soon as they see this, they start putting these numbers in here. Is that a good idea? Of course not. Why? You should simplify first. What does the verb to simplify, what does it result in? If you simplify something, what have you done to it? You have made it simpler. Should that not be your goal every chance you get in life? To make life simpler? Okay, so let's make life simpler. What should I do with those x's? Add them. So I have x to the 3/2 plus 1/2, which is what? 4/2, which is x squared. What should I do with those y's? Add them to get y to the 2 plus negative 1, which is y to the 1. Now, is simplifying this very easy? What is x? Negative 2 squared. What is y? 3 to the 1. What is negative 2 squared? 4. What is 3 to the 1? 3. What's the answer? 12. Now, if you had done what you people always do, you would have had this. Do not write this down. You would have had negative 2 to the 3 halves times 3 squared, all that times negative 2 to the 1 half times 3 to the negative 1, and then you would have had, 3 to the negative, okay. Right? And all of you would have done that. Right? Of course you would have. Are we going to make that mistake here? No. What are we going to do? Simplify. But first, we're going to use fake liquid paper to go over that. How do I simplify this? Where should I start? I should deal with this 3 first?
No, I was kidding. Obviously do the
I would do the brackets first. Should I deal with that 4, that 3, or that 4? Left 4, 3, or right 4? Right 4. So I've got x to the 4th. Now, what does that 4 do to that 3? Multiplies it by 12. What does that 4 do to that negative? Makes it a positive, doesn't it? Because negative times a negative 4 times is positive. So this becomes x to the 12th. Yes? All of that is to what power? 3. What do I do there? X to the 16th cubed. Then what do I do there? X to the 48th. What's x? X is negative 2, so it's negative 2 to the 48th. Will my answer be positive or negative? Why? The power is even and the base is part of, the negative is part of the base. Now that would be a colossally large number. Yes, it would be. Colossally large. Speaking of bad English accents, did you hear who might be the next James Bond? No, not Benedict Cumberbatch. No! No! Idris Elba. Wouldn't that be wicked? I know, right? He's so awesome. But I also heard a rumor. Guess who else might be? And this one's creepy. Not creepy, but I don't know if the world's ready for it. I'm okay with it, but I don't know if the world's ready for it. Gillian Anderson. Scully from X-Files. A woman James Bond. Ah, see? World's not ready for it. Huh? Gillian Anderson. I don't know what they'd call her. Jane Bond? I don't know. But Idris Elba, I'm on board, man. I'd be wicked awesome. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Do 13 and 14. You got 15 minutes. Do them right now. Your practice tonight is 149 and 144. Oh, 149 and 50. So, page 144, 149, 150. Wednesday is review in class. Thursday, we mark review. And we start Unit 4. Friday, Unit 3 test. Unit 3 test is, sim salabim, is radicals, exponents. To do radicals and exponents, you also will need to be good at distribution. That. Practice for what we just learned today is 144, 149, and 150. Are you having a quiz? Did we not do a second quiz on this? That's not true. You did this quiz because I have answers for it. You did that quiz. Yeah, because there's answers for it. Horse crap. All right, fine. Tomorrow, before we start our review, you're doing a quiz. There you go.
I got the 4 answers. I should focus on the first one.
No.
It definitely is. So I'm definitely going to get those 4 questions right.
You're not doing that quiz.
Shoot, come on, man. Done.
You'll do quiz 2. So we will add on Wednesday a quiz. Quizzes don't count, Sebastian. What do you care? Aight? Aight. Oh, PD 10. That's you people. 1. On Woden's Day, you have review and a boondoggle. On Thursday,
4 times.
we will mark review.
What do you say?
And we will begin Unit 4. Friday, you will write your Unit 3 test. Because if I put a T, some of you clowns will say, we're doing it Tuesday. No, because everybody who goes to UVic, everybody who went to the University of Victoria writes R for Thursday, because in our calendar, MTW Thursday was R. You all want to come to school Saturday? There's no classes on Saturdays at the university. So you will notice, I believe MJ also uses R for Thursday, and she did some time at UVic.
So, hold on, did you have x to the negative x to the 16 third?
No, French doesn't have the same, but I have noticed that she has done that.
Well, yeah, because 12 is positive.
But yes, French does. Samedi, no, it doesn't. Mardi and Mercredi. Ah. What? Mercredi is Wednesday. Thursday is jeudi. Friday is vendredi. Saturday is samedi. And Sunday is dimanche. Mardi is Tuesday. Lundi is Monday. Oui, très bien.